Team, welcome back. Oh, I just did something to my monitor. Whatever. We survived. Team, welcome back. We are back. I know things have been weird. We're figuring it out. We're trying to get ShiftCast back. Obviously, since we were all fired from the company, I think. I don't really know what happened there. Things have been in flux, so we kind of gotta. We don't have the structure that we once did. We're rebuilding the structure. But we're back. We're trying to get you stuff as much as we can. I'm here with BA. I'm here with William. Boys, how you doing? Great weekend at RL happened. So I wanna hear what you guys have been up to.
I'm doing all right. Can we start out the pod by saying happy birthday to Will?
This won't be probably his birthday by the time we put it out,
No.
but it is Will's birthday on May 1st. So if you listen to this, can we get a comment? Happy birthday, Will. Can we get a tweet instead of tweeting, why are Falcons not higher on your fucking list? How about a
You have Alcatia going to Raleigh?
Why is Vitality below Furia?
Gotta
Instead of that,
say-
maybe go.
Gotta say, the Alcide poll almost went double platinum.
Hey,
I thought I
and then
had
they
them.
went out-
They were up 3-1. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna look like the
On the
smartest
ropes.
man of all time. But they didn't pull it off, so it was a little sad.
a 0-second goal in that game 5 to turn it around too.
Brutal.
Will's turning 18.
I would
By the time you listen to this, he might not be 18 anymore.
to be young again.
Depending on, yeah.
It's just kind of interstellar time, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
BA, how's it going?
It's going great, man. You know, I've got an itchy hand here. I'm sitting waiting for Europe to get going. I've been pulling through. I got a little candle. I'm here in like the library looking through old stats, posting all-time leaderboard stuff on Twitter.
Love it.
So
Yeah.
I'm itching for some European action this weekend.
You know who
That's
else
for
is
sure.
itching? Juke. Dude's dialed.
Yeah,
He's dialed, man.
my BDS boys, man. Those are my boys right there. I'm so in on BDS. I'm all the way in on BDS. Like, it's so clear, man. It's so clear that that's the team. That's the team of destiny, man. Yeah, Had Metzer, oh my god.
Can I tell you guys, we're scattered up top here, but we're just kind of shaking off the rust. So let me vamp a little for a second here. Are you guys excited by the newfound wave here of introducing weird cars? Itachi on the Roadhog, Juke on the Marauder. I'm loving it.
It is
Okay,
fun.
Can I? I have been trying to get people to realize that the best car, or a top 5 car in the game to play comp with, and nobody listens to me. But this car is so good. It's a perfect hybrid of the Octane and the Fennec. It's got it kind of feels like I know every hitbox is the same, but it has like the placebo hitbox. It feels very tight, so it's very easy to get flips on it.
Can we guess?
The
Takumi. Takumi
When
feels small
people-
to me when you play,
But
but I like the look.
It makes you feel fast. It makes it feel really easy to get those 4 wheels under the ball. I'm telling you, when people realize how good the Takumi is on the placebo, it might not become as popular as the Fennec. Obviously it won't, but I'm telling you, it could be the 3rd meta car.
I
I'm
gotta say-
telling you.
I thought it was funny when the Buffy Sugo decal came out, so I was like, I guess I'm gonna buy a Dingo, and I played Dingo for like a good 6 months. Not a bad car. Not a bad car by any
Good
means.
cars, man.
Yeah.
I think the Venom kind of hits. I think the Grog sneaky kind of hits. You can
Sneaky
challenge like a beast with that thing. It's a brick. But
Grog is underrated. Grog in extra modes is nuts.
Mm.
A Rumble Grog, for some reason, it just
That's its
feels
game mode,
right.
man. That's like its home habitat.
totally agree.
It's crazy.
Totally agree.
everything's changing since Oli got on the Batmobile. Now we have NRG going full octane. We're
That
all
was
over the
crazy,
place.
dude.
We're all over the
That
place.
was crazy. Okay, well, speaking of NRG, thank you, segue.
Good segue.
Let's talk about
Hey.
NRG. The boys might be back. Back-to-back top 4s, not making it. I know it's insane to be like, they only made back-to-back top 4. It's over. But, they literally had never finished worse than top 2 as a roster before Open 3. And then they, lost to Ultimates. Then they lost again to Ultimates. So, really, they've basically only been eliminated by Ultimates, which is fine. A lot of people had them at the worst top 3 team in the world. But I was, people were saying the Rust, that second year in the open era for rosters at Stick is never as good as the first. A lot of people saying, man, they don't look the same. They're just sitting in net, defensive style, yada, yada, yada. And then even carrying into the event. I don't know. The first couple of days didn't look great. Got absolutely walloped by new Gen.G. And it's like, everything's starting to feel like it started to feel, at least for me, very much like last year Vitality, where it's like, top 4, game 7, at the first major, it's like, okay, they're still that team, they're still that good. And then the next split, it started to come apart. And then by Worlds, it felt like the wheels had fallen off the car. Vitality actually also won Open 4. So maybe I am still right, but Open 4 last year, sorry, not Open 4 this year. But yeah, I mean, they came out that Sunday, NRG, to get back to NRG. And they looked clear. They went to war with the Ultimates, and they came out. It feels like that is the tightest matchup in all of Rocket League right now. Those teams, doesn't matter what form both are on. It's like Peter Griffin and the Chicken, man. Like they just for an hour every time they play. And then after they got over that hump, that team that had eliminated them twice, they went up against Complexity, and it was not even a series. It felt like that. I blinked, that series was 4-0.
Yeah.
And then they went into that final against Gen.G, and they wiped them. And Beast Mode, man, my boy Mode, I love Mode. But I was starting to get concepts of a doubt about Mode. He just didn't look like the guy who was causing havoc last year. This event was like the Mode. It's like, for my NBA heads, first NBA reference to the pod, watching Kawhi in that game 2. It's like, there's my GOAT. Oh, I thought that GOAT was gone, but the GOAT is still alive. That's what it felt like watching Mode. Obviously, he's not that deep into his career, but I'm going to kick it over to BA. NRG, are they back, or was this an NA dominance thing, a mental block thing, we just need to beat Ultimates thing? Like, what's your diagnosis, Dr. Air?
Two things. I like Dr. Air. Two things hopped out to me. One is it's so funny in the sense how, of course, we're results driven, but like that Ultimate series went 7, and it was real close. Like Ultimates had very real chances right on the goal line. A ball bounces one way or another just once, we could be having a very, very different conversation about NRG, which is hilarious because then they go in and just run everybody over to win that grand finals. But Beast Mode put out a comms video, not a comms video, but just kind of a synopsis of what happened. And he was talking about how this season he hadn't felt bad, but he didn't feel, the word he used was dominant. He wasn't dominating in the way that he had previously. And that really resonated with me. And I think that Gen.G loss, especially getting run over 9-2 in that closeout game, was probably the best thing that could have happened to them. Because after that, it's just like, okay, no more. Like, we're showing up. We're here to hoop. And they just, ran through everybody. So I think NRG are very real. I think little things like this, it's like the Michael Jordan thing, where you're always looking for little ways to motivate yourself. Like, getting beat like that by a brand new Gen.G team that you're definitely better than, I think is exactly what they needed to get back in the driver's seat. Well, I don't know if you think that that's something that is sustainable once we get to Raleigh, because at Birmingham, for me, even though NRG finished where they did, I didn't really feel like they were as dangerous as we've seen them in the past. So, I definitely still think they're going to do good here in NA, but I don't know how real this is.
Internationally, I want to see more of this dominance before I can really say I think these guys could take on KC or any other powerhouse. I think they could still take a couple games. They're not going to get swept like Ultimates did, but I don't know. This is the first time that the one time that they actually played well, I wasn't even watching. I had Broomball on Sunday, so I couldn't even see Championship Sunday. So maybe it's just me not watching that just, I don't know, powers this team up. But because I also wasn't watching when I don't know, the major, they had a couple big wins there. I wasn't paying attention. So yeah, I don't know.
I did. I slept through the Falcon series, to be honest.
Yeah.
I woke up and I was like, I gotta rewatch this series because I want to gloat about how MENA sucks.
Yeah.
I didn't see it live. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my thing, right, is I just feel like when I watched that finals, again, KC Ultimates, it didn't feel like the Ultimates were ever getting smoked. Besides, I think the third game was pretty one-sided. But there was one goal here and a bad team bump here. And it was just okay, well, there's one team that's making mistakes and there's one team that isn't. And the margin against a team as good as Carbon Corp is so thin that you have a regular great team against like a world beater team, and that's just one little mistake, two little mistake, three little mistake a game, and it's over, right? And I feel like I resonate with what you were saying about NRG because it feels like when they got Beast Mode and Daniel playing at their best, it doesn't really matter if they're making mistakes because they're pulling off so many plays that other teams just aren't good enough as a cohesive unit to make. Like Carmine Corp can hit you, and they can just box you back. But when you have a team as talented as NRG, it can be as much as they've got NRG in for 45 seconds, but if NRG are they're in their kind of element. I don't know, that's not the right word. If they're in form, if it's the NRG that we know and love from last year, it's like they're getting pounded for 45 seconds, and all of a sudden it's like, well, Beast Mode's on the ceiling. He's challenged. 50, weird 50. Daniel's got the ball. Daniel's on the ball now. Daniel's put it off the backboard. And it's like, well, what happened, right? And I think that I saw more of that, which is what I was missing. They had a lot of sitting back sort of stuff, that sit back narrative that we had the whole first split. It felt like it was gone because of Beast Mode. Because Beast Mode was like, you know what? Whatever. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go the whole game. You got the ball. I'm going. And to me, it's not an easy style to play, and it's one that you need to be very, very good on the ball and like be very good with your touches. And maybe he wasn't playing as much Rocket League as he was previously, but I'd like to see that more because that team, to me, if anyone's going to beat KC, it's going to be a team like that who is capable of like splitting the sky, like going. It's not about okay, hopefully we can get him on a good day. It's like no, we're going to go in and they're going to run at us and we're going to run at them, and there's going to be an atom split. Right? So I hope that we get to continue to watch them be this good because it's going to be a boring year if Carbon Corp are just head and shoulders above everybody and then they choke Worlds away to Monkey Moon again. So.
I got to tell you, even though like it's we're talking, and I'm guilty of this as much as anybody, but it is very funny where it's like, I don't know, this NRG team, there's doubts, this and that. If you were to twist my arm, you cannot put them lower than the third best team in the world. So it's we're critical of them. It's like the Celtics, to get our second NBA reference off early here, where it's like they're so good that you're critical of anything you possibly can be, just because that's kind of the form they've set for themselves.
Well, I feel like Atomic is actually Jason Tatum because it's like he's so good, but he didn't do cool tricks for 6 months.
Is he Tatum? I get it because it's kind of like he's a star, but he's not as talked about. But I still think he's the best player on that team. Maybe he's more like a Tim Duncan, where it's just all these sneaky.
That's like highest peak possible. I'm not going to give him Duncan without a world championship. I have great reverence for Tim Duncan, but I think that the way that we talk about Atomic is like the way we talk about Jason Tatum. Where if it was anybody else who had more personality and flair and tweeted more, then we would be like, this guy, man, one of the GOATs of all time. He's just an icon of the game. But since he doesn't tweet, he just wants to play the game, and he's pretty quiet. We pretend, that he's not literally clear of everyone else in the history of North American Rocket League, just from like a winning standpoint, right? I mean, he's got more RLCS lands. He's got more regionals than anyone else. He's won more than literally anyone else, but he doesn't have like a YouTube channel where he plays twos. And speaking of YouTube channels where people play twos, let's talk about Shopify, Rebellion, and Gen.G. Holy segue, guys. Was that not absolutely phenomenal?
It was
good. Anyway, Gen.G. What's up?
I'm a little bummed. That's all.
Why? Oh, right, because you're a Shopify
fan.
My
team kind of crapped the bed a little bit. And that's, I guess when they don't, it seems like they're just kind of the butt of North America at this point. Like, I don't know.
It's crazy how much the PR. Oh, we lost him. It's okay. It should still be recording.
Yeah.
But yeah, are you there?
Hello?
Yeah.
There he is.
I thought you were just pausing for dramatic effect. Yeah, if you guys can hear me, I can hear you.
Yeah.
You're like, let me tell you, and you froze like this, Michael. I was like, oh, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Tell me what. Because I saw you looking at your screen like, I was like, oh, did I cut him off? Did he want to say something else? Okay, wait. 3, 2, 1. And then I'm going to clap, and then we can use this as an editing thing. So we'll cut that last 10 seconds out. 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Speaking of people that play twos. Oh, no, let's do that again. 3, 2, 1. Let's talk about Shopify and Gen.G. The I would say the trade of the offseason, the most notable, because
Yeah.
they had the biggest names, right? Though, Gen.G coming off, they won a regional. They did okay at the major. I don't think anyone really thought the whole weekend that they were going to be a top 8 team, but they got pretty close. They added Justin. Reynolds then jetted off to Shopify in place of Justin. Gen.G looked like they've been looking, man. They've been so good. They didn't have to get through the big two. Well, I guess they beat NRG, so I will say massive win for them over NRG. But I mean, they didn't have to play an elimination match against either of the big two teams in NA. They made the final. They got smoked by NRG. No shame in that. Meanwhile, honeymoon effect didn't really hit for Shopify. Finished top 8. Had some pretty tough run. Had some pretty tough GSL. I think they went 5 with Team Evo.
Yeah.
Bad team, Team Evo. I'm not gonna hate on Team Evo.
I think they got steamrolled by Evo, but then they went 3-2 against. They went 3-2 against like Gas.
No. Evo. They lost. I think they lost to Evo and they beat Strictly Business. Can we get a double check on that?
I'm checking right now.
In Swiss, they go 3-2 against Power Rangers, Gas, and What's Up.
They beat Strictly Business. They got smoked by Gen.G in like.
Yeah. What did I think about Team Evo?
They played Team Evo in the lower semis. They went 5. They won.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So they got smoked by the old team. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I know there was an ass kicking in there somewhere.
There was. It was
and
not,
then they went
not close.
They went down and they played 9 Lives, which is a team I would consider around their tier in terms of like my headcanon of where all the teams are. Now that they have Sunil, not Goat Fear, and they got absolutely hammered. It was not a fun watch. The cock was back for sure in that game. He was absolutely cocking. So I know a lot of people, they like to do the thing where they're like, it's actually a win-win. They both got better. I don't actually believe in that in this sport because it's usually that one team just wants one player and the other guy can't find anywhere else to play. Do you think that this is showing that this might have not been a win-win, or is it just early returns and we gotta wait?
I think a lot of people think that, and I like Reynolds, like really good guy, really good player. I think the issue is, I'm trying to figure out a way to say this. People are gonna think that they're gonna work into it, they're gonna get better as they go, because that's just like what Reynolds teams do. And I kind of agree. I think he's a leader. He's a locker room ad. You can make fun of it if you want, but I mean he is. He's a big vibes guy, but whatever. The issue I have is that they don't have Kev Pert and they don't have Greg, and I think that
So they got Naps, bro.
They have Naps. Naps hasn't coached. I have no idea what to expect from him. So I just feel like with Kev and with Greg, they have that track record. They make a team good. Eventually, they come up with a scheme. They work it out, and it gets better. And I think if Reynolds does have that effect that people think he does, it might be slower going without those two coaches, is my issue. But, I mean, top 8, based on how they were playing at Swiss, I thought they were going to be a first-round exit. I was really worried. So I'm happy with the top 8. We'll see how they do in the next couple of events, but I do think it was a clear. I mean, Gen.G looked insane. Justin still got it. I don't think he ever didn't have it, to be honest, but he still got it. So yeah. BA?
I think I'm trying to do the same dance that you are, Will, where I think the Shopify, like there's talent on that roster. For me, I think when we come down to like splitting hairs, and let's be positive and assume that this team will trend better. For me, I think the difficulty is with a 2-piece and Parth duo that we've seen for a while. If you want to qualify for the major, and maybe they're thinking longer term than this, maybe they're looking towards like the whole world qualification, because that's very loose this year. Like you can kind of just stumble into worlds based on the structure, as I understand it. I think it's tough for that duo to be like, we're going to get better, when I think Parth, over the course of his career, top 6, I think is the best.
No, top 2.
Is that true?
Yeah, top 2 was the last.
Was that Open 6?
Regional? and then they
Open
played the
6, right?
tiebreaker against OG, and they threw game 7.
So maybe this point is on not a very strong argument, but it's tough for me to see a world where it's like they are going to go through 9 lives, complexity, and NRG to win or something like that. I don't know. I just it's impossible to not compare them to Gen.G for me just because of how the trade went down, and I struggle to see a world where Shopify is going to consistently do better than Gen.G. I just think Gen.G have more talent, can do more things. I think the offense comes easier than it is for Shopify. A lot of question marks for me for SR. That was kind of a nothing burger answer, but I'm conflicted on how to feel about them.
I'm not. If you rank me the 6 players on both teams, you don't find a Shopify Rebellion player until number 4.
Who's number 4?
2-piece.
Yeah.
Well, this year he actually hasn't been very good. Last year, 2-piece would probably actually be number 1 on this list, to be honest. So I'll put him at 4. But it doesn't really matter. Like, Justin, as a individual talent and a talent in a vacuum, is like literally one of one. Like, it doesn't make sense to be as good as he is at that point in his career. He's 7 or 8 years into being a professional Rocket League player, and he's still this good. And all he needed was a system around him. And now that there's a system around him, it's like, oh yeah, that guy was so far ahead of everybody else 7 years ago that he's still amazing now. He just needed a direction to go in. He was just doing whatever last year, right? And the last split as well. There was just the inconsistency seemed to come from a lack of structure. And the idea that, to Bull's point, that with Reynolds gone, the structure was going to dissolve when they have 2 coaches is insane. Obviously, the structure is going to stay the same. They're just getting a far better player. And, I feel like maybe this is just a testament to the fact that Magic Bear and Cheese have really grown as they've been part of this system. And unfortunately, because, he was a founding member of the system, they had outgrown Reynolds. People will tell you a lot of things about Reynolds, but I'll tell you, after what I watched, it's pretty obvious to me what the issue was there, which was that they didn't have 3 players good enough to make top 8 at LAN, and now they do, right? I think about this all the time, which is a statistic I found. The last team that Reynolds beat from Europe, and you got to beat Europe at least once, most likely, statistically speaking, to make it to top 8, right? The last team that Reynolds beat was Team Endpoint of Archie, Metsonaris, and Relating Wave. That's the last European team he beat. You cannot. I understand that Magic Bear and Cheese have never done it, so don't get me wrong. They have stuff to prove. But if you're looking for a guy on the back half of his career, and that guy can't get a win against Europe as the centerpiece of your program for 3 years, it's not going to work, man. It's just not. And I think Gen.G correctly identified that they had the culture in place. They no longer needed him as the centerpiece of the culture, and they were able to bring in more talent, right? And to me, it's like, there's no question here. It was an unquestionable upgrade. And then for Shopify, who seems to be stuck in like some strange purgatory of not figuring out who they are, right? Last year, they kind of have an identity. Their identity was like, we win games 5-4 and we lose games 5-0. That's not a good identity. I'm just going to put that out there. Maybe that's not a sustainable way to win. So hopefully Rattles and Memory and JNaps can figure something out. But we're running on 3 years of a duo who can't string together more than 2 straight decent placements. So I've been out. I'm going to continue to be out. People continue to believe. I'm sure the YouTube videos are fire, but fool me once with that. That's a roster of fool me once type players. I'm going to be honest with you. It's a bunch of fell for it again award type players. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
All right. Enough with that.
Free
I don't want to
piece.
talk about that anymore.
Free piece. He's
Okay,
next up.
let's talk about. He might have missed his boat. He might be if man forever. Speaking of if man, speaking of the if team, let's talk about the if team themselves. Complexity. If they just didn't blow a 3-2 lead against Vitality, if HHG made that shot, if they didn't blow a 3-2 lead to Liquid, they used to be the number 1 if team in this esport. I missed that. We got 5 teams I think that we all can agree on probably can make LAN and do top 8E, top 6E things. Can we all agree on that? SSG, Gen.G, Complexity, Ultimate, NRG.
Yeah.
Who's the odd one
Yep.
out for you guys after regional one? Or open 4, not regional 1. And remember, this is a saying from my boy Nick Wright. We're not talking about the standings. These are not the standings. All right. We're not going to talk about, oh, well, there's 2 teams that are top 6. I want vibes. I want a vibes answer. What vibes do you consider the fifth best vibes in North America versus the 4 that will be?
Give me Cole at 5. I'm thinking Cole's 5.
I like that.
So,
Elaborate.
all right. Obviously, people are gonna point at what happened, right? Upper bracket quarterfinals, Complexity Space Station was not close. 4-1 was brutal. I do think Kofor is slotting into a new scheme here. He's not the number 1 scorer anymore. He's not the hard carry. He's not the playmaker. I actually did a write-up about Next Up that apparently no one can read, so I have to figure that out. It's a whole thing. But I did notice, like statistically, from last split to this event, he was a big playmaker. He led the league in like shots per goal and goal participation, I think is what it was, and he led in demos. And he was a big enforcer last year for 9 Lives. He's kept an enforcer role. All the rest have kind of gone out the window. And I think he just needs to get used to not being that guy. I think Scribbles and Reveal, they can score. They can put away shots. They just need to do it more consistently. They need to adjust. They need to get used to, hey, we have an enforcer on our team. We have a guy that like creates chaos. We need to take advantage of the space that he creates. So I think it's a learning curve. But I think once they figure that out, this team is electric. They have firepower. I think they are a LAN team. I guess I was saying that last year too, and look how that went out. Gen.G just came out of nowhere and plot armored their way through to win a regional, which kind of sucks. But yeah, I think, and honestly, Frosty, he's still a bit of a liability. Love him as a player, great player, seems like a cool kid. I'm just a little worried based on what happened last year or last split. So I think Cole, vibes wise, is 5th. SSG probably 4th. Gen.G looked that much better this year with Justin. I think they're 3rd. And then Ultimate's NRG, you can flip flop. I don't really care. They're both good. So that's my take.
BA, your thoughts?
I don't know. I'm staring at my notes going back and forth because I agree with you, Will. Like the top 3 seems clear. And then even the 4 and 5 seems clear. They seem a touch above 9 Lives, even though I like that team. I don't own a lot of Zenil stock. Sorry about that. But that top 6 even, like there's a line there for me. But enough stalling. I think I probably agree with you on SSG just because I think if you're gonna be making, and I know that this kind of touches on the Nick Wright thing where like it's not, we're just talking vibes and not rankings, but like which of these 2 teams is going to be able to punch above their weight class and beat one of those top 3 teams? I really struggle to see it with Complexity. I think that we have enough tape here, even with the addition of Frosty, which is new, so you can't look at it the same way, to say, look, once they get, you know, they're going to make it into that top 8, top 6, but then they're going to show like big holes. And SSG can falter in the same way, but I just feel like they are not going to be afraid of going up against Ultimates, not afraid of going up against Gen.G. If they were to make it to Raleigh, I wouldn't have SSG going super far. I still think there's kind of steps to this for that team. But I do feel more confident with Space Station than I do Complexity with like finding consistency. Mike, out of those 6 players, the 6-player game here, are you going all SSG before you get to Complexity? Because I think this one's a little bit tougher because it's a ton of young talent.
Oh, absolutely not. I think CRR is my one, man. I think CRR, Kofor, Reveal, Frosty, honestly, Diaz, Scribbles. So it's pretty
Scribbles
even.
last?
I think I agree.
I think he's gonna be if he even keeps playing. I know that he's got other stuff he wants to do in life, but I mean, everything I've heard about this kid is like he's a grinder. He's so dedicated. He wants to be great at everything he does. I think we forget that he should be playing his rookie year this year. Like he's so young. I think in 2 years, chat to me. I think it's going to be laughable to put any of these guys over Scribbles. But there's just him and Diaz have the same issue. Funny enough, where it's like they just disappear for 10 minutes at a time. Like Kofor and CRR specifically. Though they are the central point for their team all series, every series. That's what makes a star to me, is that you can feel their impact on the game, positive or negative, the entire time. Right? Reveal, I think he was stellar last event. I think he was, just really good in spots last year. But then you get to those last two, and it's like, man, they just Scribbles. He does nothing for 2 games. He just drives around. There'll be 3 games in a row where Diaz. I'm like, has Diaz touched the ball since game 2? And so to me, those guys are in their own tier. I think CRR is probably still in his own tier. I think he's so good. And I think he's carried that team a lot more than people realize because of the legacy that Razeable has. Like I think he's one of the 6 to 8 best players in North America. And then you can talk about the other ones. But yeah, I'm definitely not going 3-3 on that one.
So we have 5 contenders in NA. So maybe we shift over and talk about the 5 contenders we got in EU now, as NIP swept Karmine Corp.
Great segue.
Insane. 3-0.
No, it was 3-1.
Okay. They went 3-0 in
They
European
went 3-0 in
quals.
Swiss.
Misread.
Sorry, I wrote that weird on the sheet.
No, you're good. That's on me. But what a win. And to be honest, to answer this question right off the bat, and I can push it off to you guys now, afterwards, the question is, do we have a new contender in Europe? I don't think they ever weren't a contender last year. I think they got robbed by Nick, plot armor ball last split. No idea how the heck they made the major. To be honest, I don't think they deserve to be in the major. I don't think they're that good. I'm full on the NAS train right now. I'm under God Nation. Let's ride. I'm all in. UG. The UG.
Under God.
The GOAT.
Dude, if you go back to the last episode that we aired, there's a point where I said NAS is the best player in the world. And BA goes, yeah, well, I'm not sure if I agree with you on that one. NAS Nation is coming. Trust me, this kid is different, man. Number 1 on a title team material, bro. I've been convinced by NAS Nation, the shadow figure behind NAS Nation, who will go unnamed. But yeah, listen. I didn't think they were as good as a lot of people thought they were last split. Not that I came into this season thinking they were going to be one of the 4 teams. Watching them, I'm like, yeah, they're good, but there's just nothing special. If a team catches fire, they'll be able to beat them. They didn't feel like they'd be able to punch up against some of the better teams. So yeah, I guess that was the main issue I had was it's you're losing a dig, you're losing a this. This was the first time it was okay, in my head, Oski, dog, Itachi, legend, top 15 player of all time, probably. Nas, literally number 1 pick in my draft. I don't know. Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball, Cooper Flag. LaMelo Ball was a number 1 pick. Just young stud. Just talent coming out the wazoo. That's what I was hoping for. Just fun. You got Tachi filling in. He's the brain on the field. You got these 2 guys who can just get fast and mechanical and efficient. And for the first time, it felt like that all came together where it's okay, now I can see that they can walk in to a championship Sunday or a championship or a semifinal Saturday, or whatever we call it, quarterfinal Saturday, and just beat the brakes off of Falcons, or just punch Karmine Corp in the mouth on land. Then you blink and they're up 2-0 in game 3, and they're up 2-0 in the series, and you're like, what the hell is going on? Sorry, I got animated because I was so excited about NAS. But yeah, I don't know if you could tell, but I'm pretty into this side. Yeah, they're pretty good.
What is it for you about Nas that is what's the elevator pitch on why he's so good? Because I think there's a lot of guys, even in Europe, if we want to consolidate it there, who are young, hyper mechanical, can do it on both ends of the pitch. What makes him stand out from the crowd in your eyes?
In my opinion, he's got like A+ ball control on the ball, and he's very fast. So to me, to win, you need two guys to win the world championship in our big 2025. You need two guys who can take the ball and beat at least one, if not two. That is very hard to do now. Like I don't know if you've noticed, but like no one can beat anyone anymore. People have mastered the art of like bumping a guy off on their dribble, 50s, whatever. It's like we've reset the skill ceiling in a sense where it was like in 2017, the guy who could air dribble was the best player. And everyone else could kind of travel, they could challenge on the ground and stuff. But then we got to the point where everyone could air dribble, so everyone was scoring. And now we've gotten that everyone is so good at challenging the air dribble that you've now there's now only like 6 guys that can air dribble well enough to get past guys. It's the best 1v1 players. Nupo, Zen, Drawley, Nas. I wouldn't put him specifically in that. Actually,
high company.
Sneaky. I don't think he's as good as Nupo because I'm a pretty big Nupo guy as well on the pitch. But I think that's a pretty good comp. Like last year, Nupo. Like I think he feels very smooth on the ball. He beats guys a lot. Pause. He's able to constantly generate offense when there's not a lot of offense. He's a very, very good defender. He's fast. Like it's just a lot of the stuff that checks off. You know what it is, BA? It's like, what's the difference between Jalen Green and Anthony Edwards? It's like, well, they're both athletic. They're both long. They're both, 3-level scorers. But it's like, yeah, but one of them is a 3-level scorer in that he makes one of every 2 to 3 shots he makes from all 3 levels, and the other one is a 3-level scorer that actually makes one of every 4 shots he makes. Where it's like they have the same profile, but there's like an efficiency and a speed and a brain power level that just there's a chasm, and that's the chasm between like a Diaz and a Nas to me.
Well, and you know what that's an interesting comp that you bring up because I think it actually leads to what my concern is about a player like Nas when you compare him to those big names. The difference between Ant and Jalen Green is that sometimes Jalen Green's going to give you 31, but then some games he's going to give you 8. I know I'm getting at least 20 every single night from Anthony Edwards, and I just don't know if Nas is at the point where it's like, yes, he's just an immediate 2 games a series. You know what I mean?
But
I don't know if he has that impact. That's how you feel? Because I feel like there's some players where it's just like, I mean, you're inevitably going to get at least a game or 2 a series where you're like, well, Raleigh just was unstoppable. Like, there's nothing you can do against
disagree.
him. Same with Nalpo, even though I have fears about Nalpo. But if you're going best of 7, at least 2, it's like, man, Nalpo just took over. Like, that was unbelievable.
I watched Drawley get 4-0'd, and the aggregate score was like, 16-2 against Gentlemates in London. I watched Beast Mode get his ass handed to him by the Falcons in that same land. I watched Roas and TRK, the duo, literally pee their pants. Well, not literally, but like there was pee coming out of their car's engines in that final. Everybody can get whooped. Now, I would agree that over time, if you're getting whooped constantly, you don't deserve to be in there. But I watched Nupo get whooped by, who was it in that last land?
They lost to Furia 4-1.
They got smoked, and I would not put that on Nupo, but I remember typing in the court after and saying Nupo didn't do enough because he has decided that he wants to play a way that he needs to get 700 points to win. And he did not get 700 points to win, so I'm going to be critical of that, right? And I do agree that with the hard carry style player, if you are going to build a team around the idea of you scoring 650 points a game, then you cannot get mad when your teammates are not scoring because they are now relying on you to get 650 points a game because that's how you want to play. I don't think Nas plays that way. I think it's a reason that he can slot in for G2 and make top 4 at EWC, then he can go to the FIFA E thing and he can make top 4. I don't really care about the FIFA E thing, to be honest, but the final bracket was important, right? And he was able to play. Now he's playing with 2 great players, but he was able to play with 2 players and get top 4, right? To me, it's like Diaz still hasn't been able to make a top 8 on land, right? He feels like he feels like he disappears. You know, oh yeah, he didn't make that last
only
one.
been to
But you know,
one, yeah.
he didn't make land from Sam
Yeah,
until this,
that's true.
right? So to me, Nas is different because it's like I watch him and he fits in with these top lobbies. He doesn't look like the odd man out like I feel like a Diaz does, a Frosty does, some of those
Scribbles.
players. Sometimes a Juicy, a
Yeah.
Scribbles. Like to me, it's like that guy belongs here. And sometimes he's the best player, and sometimes he's the fourth best player. But yeah, I don't think that he'll get you two on their own. That's reserved for like the best players playing at their best in a given event. Like first killer. First killer is another great example of that. First unplayable for 99% of Birmingham and then got swept. It's like, well, that wasn't really first killer's fault, was it? Losing 2-1, 3-1, 2-0, 1-2-1 to the best team in the world. He's still probably the third best player of that land, second best player of that land. So that's my spiel on that. Go Nas. Final words. Go Nas. Go Nas Nation. Nas Nation.
They need to make a NASCAR.
Dude.
I'm sorry.
What a pun. No.
Sorry.
Okay, let's talk. Our last one's the MENA question, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, you'll never guess what happened to MENA this week.
Dude, did Falcons?
Twisted Minds
Falcons win?
and Falcons played in the final, and Falcons won.
Duh.
My question for you, let's keep it short and sweet. I know I've been rambling because I had 2 spicy margaritas at my office before I came here.
I also poked the bear with the NAS thing, so it's kind of my fault.
Listen.
Go ahead. Yeah.
The NAS cabal is important, right? The NAS cabal, like we meet and we discuss. My question for you is, does it matter what happens domestically in MENA from like a world championship winner perspective? Can we learn anything from MENA Opens that we will not have to eventually either learn was fraudulent on land or be surprised that it actually was true on land? Does it matter? Does any of this matter?
Not really. I did learn that Falcons have a really annoying level of plot armor where they just don't freaking lose. And it's like you're down 3-1, just like roll over and like lose.
Your major pick screwed.
Like, come on. I don't know. My major picks are not. First of all, it was a top 4. That's good. That's a lot better than what they were doing last split. So for those that don't know, I picked Alcacaya over Twisted Minds. For our major picks, I think it was the only one that did it. I'm nothing like y'all. I'm different. Please pay attention to me.
Preach.
But it wasn't a bad pick. It was actually a really Toxic is a great player. I think he's an upgrade over Nush, who can't wake up in time for a regional.
But his montage is crazy, bro.
But he's got aura. That's true.
Yeah.
I think if they ran into Twisted Minds a second time instead of Falcons on Championship Sunday, I think they win that 4-2, maybe 4-1. I think they were in really good form. That 1-0 second goal, we were talking about this on the pre-show or whatever. Maybe it was before the episode even started. I don't remember. That shifted the momentum. It screwed them. Tough scenes. So I think Falcons winning and coming back from 3-1 in the finals is huge because that puts Alcacea within striking distance of Twisted still. So I think there's still some stuff to play for. I just want to see Alcacea come out next week and really show him who's boss and make me look good. Because I almost I was about to be so smug on Twitter. It was insane. I had like 4 tweets prepped like, yeah, talk to me now. Yeah. Some guy on Reddit said it was wicked that I picked Alcacea. He's like, this guy's insane. And I almost looked so smart. So, anyways. Corinthians better pull through for me this week.
Hey, it's a long season, man. They got top 4. They just need to beat Twisted Mind once, and we got a ball game.
Yeah.
But yeah, your thoughts on the frivolity of life and MENA Opens?
Well, I can give a shorter answer on the second part for sure. We don't have to do a life piece of this right now. Too much pondering going on in my free time. I do think that this matters for MENA. If we're going to be positive about it, and by MENA I mean Falcons, I think it matters because these reps are good to be in 3-1 holes and be like, all right, let's figure this out. Like, we are now referencing it for the third time, that 0-second goal. You don't want to look too much into one moment or anything, but it's like those kind of moments are maybe the like heartbeat slowing, okay, we got this moments that you need in big moments. Like those reps can kind of add up to something. I think that's important. It's too far back, but I even think about like TRK. This is a deep pull from seasons ago, but remember when they go up against Moist and they have the bracket reset and they lose the first one, and it's like, oh, all the steam is gone, and they get rolled in the reset. I think it was what, they go to 7 and then they get like swept in the reset or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's 4-3-4-0.
Moments like this, just because the team is the same, you can use the same example. Maybe these are the moments where you can kind of build upon something where it's like, hey, just because we're in this moment, backs against the wall, we're down 3-1 or 3-2 against Vitality, doesn't mean that we can't win this. So that's my positive spin on why MENA is still fun to watch. Because outside of that, you know.
You know what? I totally agree. This was a bait and switch question that I wrote so that I could say that, yes, it does matter. And you know why? Because how many times have we seen a team from MENA or Sam that was really good and had a couple good results on LAN, and then they have an absolute stinker, right? They just suck on LAN. They have a bad performance. And they go back to their region, and they're like, they're beating themselves up and not playing the game. They're like, and then they kind of roll up to the regional. And they're like, well, this is my region, so I'm just going to win these regionals because, we're the best team in the region. And they lose. They don't win, or they're shaky. And then it's like that can kind of be the beginning of the end of some of these top MENA and Sam rosters. I think about like Team Secret, which was, remember they got top 4 that one time? That fake ass line.
This is the, what, KV1 Astromic Fims? It was Fims and KV1.
Sad and like Knight.
Oh, and Knight. That's right. Yeah. That's right.
And then they went like, it literally went like top 4, top 12. I think they missed the spring major because Astromic made it. That was when Mata hit all those goals and everyone was like, Mata. So they missed it. So it was like they went from, we are the team in South America, like we've replaced Furia, and then they have a bad second major, and then they aren't able to like get that mojo back. And to me, that could have happened to the Falcons because they have a team waiting in the wings that's like multiple teams really, but Twisted Mind specifically, that's been nipping at their feet the whole time. So I think it's important. I think there are some fun teams to watch in MENA that, while probably not internationally competitive, it's kind of like OCE outside of the top teams because the top teams are really good. Where it's like, it kind of gets mucky and weird, and they're fun, and there's rivalries because the MENA players are like all hate each other but love each other. It's a good reason to watch. I think it matters. In an international context, I think it's just important for the Falcons if they're going to be that team that breaks the minor region LAN drought or LAN. They finally open the dam of minor region LAN wins. They can't be struggling in their own region, man. Like the confidence you need to go up and beat a KC and Ultimates. We saw it, right? Like Ultimates came out in I don't know, what is it, round 4 of Swiss? And they were like, okay, yeah, drive at us all you want. We're just gonna get a demo on the backside and punt the ball in the net. And like that's literally the type of series that can destroy your team because it can be like they figured us out, right? So I think it is important. I agree. Okay, let's move on. Segment time. New segment. We're going to do a draft for the rest of the year. And it's time for us to get some of, this is kind of like the our guys draft. Like we're going to draft some guys to be our guys. We want 2 rosters, so 6 players. And we've all been assigned 2 teams. We must pick only players, number 1, from the top 6 of the Birmingham Major, which is Team Vitality, the Ultimates, Carmine Corp, Furia, Falcons, NRG. Kind of the cream of the crop, I would say, of this year's RLCS. Each host, has been assigned 2 teams in which they must select a player from for their 2 teams. So, one, I think me, for example, I have Falcons and Ultimates. I must pick for one of my teams an Ultimates player. I must pick for one of my teams a Falcons player. The other 2 players on each team, so the other 4 players, cannot be part of the teams. So I can't pick a Falcons or an Ultimates player for either of them. I got to use some of the others. And then BA, you somehow got Carmine Corbin and NRG. I don't know how you fleeced that. You're automatically starting off with the 2 best players you want from those teams. So good for you, buddy. And then Will gets Furia and Vitality.
Are we picking from? We can pick outside the top 6 though for the rest of the rosters. Or are we picking
I don't know.
from
You
just
made up.
these?
You made up this
I was
segment.
just
You get to
so I
choose.
was just thinking we do a draft. Where I don't
How about
know.
this? How about this? How about this? How about this? New rule. We're making this live. Then the second round is players in the top 6. The third round, you can't pick any from the top 6.
You gotta pick
So
someone
we only
outside.
have 2 rounds to go top 6, and then after that, the
So it's
door's
like
closed.
assigned teams, players,
Yep.
not top 6,
Not from yours.
not assigned teams, non-top 6 players.
I like
Say
this.
too, by the way, I'm gonna drop this in the graphics chat so you can see it. I made like an NFL draft style like graphic for each pick.
Oh, Will, let's go.
Oh,
It's
you
gonna
beast,
look at this.
dude.
Look at this.
Shout out to our new editor we got, who's now gonna have to do all of that.
Well, I'll make the graphics for him.
Will lost editing responsibilities and was like, "I'm going to make the largest graphic of all time with like 20 picks, but you're gonna have to fill in. That rocks, dude. Continue to wield your power." So how do we want to do this? Want to go? Do we want to go like 1, 2, 3 snake?
Yeah.
Back up, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 snake back up.
I see your point. Let's do 3s. Let's snake it in 3s.
Okay, let's do it.
Make it volatile. It'll be easy for us to remember.
Who wants to start?
I'm gonna write.
It's Will's birthday.
Birthday boy gets a pick?
I think so.
Alright. I've been getting calls. That's why I've been looking at my phone, because people keep calling me. I think like my grandpa was gonna wish me a happy birthday. I don't have the heart to tell him I'm doing a Rocket League podcast.
Call me later, Gramps.
Yeah,
just text him back.
Sorry, Chuck. Love you. So yeah, I'm gonna start with Furia. I think it's a pretty obvious pick. Mike, you and I have the same agenda here. I think you said this once, and I totally agree. And every time I think of Fury, I think of this. Drufo is the only man in Sam that can play threes, ever.
It's so true.
It's
no
nuts.
one wants to talk about it, but it's the truth.
It's true. If you want a good
Sam
team,
they're literally.
This is incredible.
You build around him. You have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
Not even joking. This is a real thing. That secret team we just talked about, was the last team in Sam history to make an elimination bracket on a LAN in Sam that didn't feature Drufinho.
Yeah.
3 years, they've just been like, Drufinho, here's our most mechanical players. Please do something. Yeah. Legend. One of the most, maybe the most underrated. Actually, I would say the most underrated player of the Open era.
Yeah.
Should be
this
given
is
much
great.
more fun.
This is great stuff to start the draft. I love this.
Okay. So
what do you got? What do you got, BA? You go.
It's me?
Yeah.
All right, so I got KC and NRG.
Yeah. I can't imagine who you're going to pick with your first pick. It doesn't even.
I already wrote it down.
It doesn't even.
Well, I think there are, to be honest, I think there's arguments to be made on both sides. Like, I think once you get into these big moments, like Beast Mode is a player, where for me it's like, ooh, Beast Mode. Like, I would love to have a team with Beast Mode. But I think I'd be remiss to not just pick Drowley and just get it over with.
Yeah.
You can just pick Beast Mode in 2 picks.
That's right, I can. But, I just wanted to give some
like,
praise.
It's so tough to pick. I could have the coughing baby, or I could have the hydrogen bomb, Like, it's so tough.
Am I going to pick 1 gorilla or 100 men?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, my 2 picks for Falcons and Ultimates, Jason and Roas. I'm going to start building my teams around Jason and Roas.
Okay.
Yeah. TR what? TR who? Yeah. No, BA's up.
All right, I'll take BMO on the backside. And then Will, who's your vitality?
This is another tough one.
This is tough. I just think we need someone that can air dribble the ball past at least one. I agree with your logic back then too, so I'm going Zen.
Exotic. Sorry. Oh, Zen. Okay.
Give me Zen.
Oh no. All right. Will, you got to draft again. Now you're doing top 6, not one of those assigned teams. Okay. 6. Second new rule that I've just thought of. After this, we have to assemble the teams. So it's not that you're just picking the team. Like, you can put these 2 guys on the same team.
Yeah.
But you have to try to not like stack one of the other teams. You know what I'm saying?
So now we have the equivalently
free reign over our players.
I like this.
Okay. So anybody in the top 6, Who's left?
but not on Fury and Vitality.
Should I be basing this off of can they speak the same language?
No,
No,
No, just vibes.
that's like the
that gets thrown
lamest.
out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
the lamest parameter people give ever for dream teams. But they couldn't speak the same language, bro.
That comes up when I
it's a
do the
dream.
randomizer. I'm like, throw that out. That doesn't matter.
give me Vati for alongside.
Ew.
Great pick. Great pick.
I lost a lot of respect for you right there, man.
Great
That's
pick.
gross, dude. That's gross.
Um,
BA, you're up.
So I'm choosing from the other teams. Let me just look at this to make sure I'm not doing something silly. Man, you took FK. Great pull. TRK is still there. For me, it's TRK or Monkey Moon. Give me Monkey.
Is this alongside
Okay.
your Drally team? 'Cause I'm noticing
Potentially.
Yeah, don't put any of my guys down because I got to figure out where I'm going. I think I might just go best player available and then see if it works.
Yeah, I haven't got to the team building stage just yet.
So you took Zen. I don't want any of those bums. I can't take Clears. I can't take LJ. I can't take Turkey. I can't take Chronic, bro.
Mm-hmm.
No.
You can take I won't give you hints. You can look at NRG.
I think I know who I'm taking. There's actually a very, very, very easy two answers here. I'm gonna take the toe, and I'm gonna take Dan.
What? Okay.
That's it. What I do, bro?
No.
I'm not taking Yan. Oh, look at me, I'm Yan. What's a major final? Like that.
Respect the lean hat, all right?
Shit
has powers.
Do you have any relationship with a major final? What's that? What's a major final?
Can I take us on like what will be like a 2-minute detour real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
Who cares?
We won't expound upon it at all. So when I did like a top 50 deal and I put Daniel the best player out of NRG, got a lot of pushback against that. I had it all. I drew it up all different ways. I did the exercise. I spent a lot of time on it. I landed with Daniel, best defensive player, best defensive team. Was that the wrong move? Because you didn't pick Atomic, which stands out to me.
That's what I was thinking.
And I think some people would be like, "Oh, Atomic's the best player," and now let's have a conversation about 2 and 3. But
no, because I'm going to put Ato and Daniel on the same team, and Ato just wants to like ball chase, and Daniel doesn't.
Right.
So I'm
I like it. Your team building.
That was my play.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like it.
I feel like if I had to choose like real life, pick two guys that have never played together that can instantly just work. I really think that Ato and Daniel are like the perfect one because one of them wants to sit back and counter, and the other one's like, I am going to harass the other team the whole game and try to score stupid goals. That's the exact type of duo you want to build. Like just throw in a little midfield demon third.
I like to throw it out here real quick too. Is my vision for this was the team that you're drafting from is like that team. If that makes so, like if you have ultimates, right? So you keep Jason, you draft two other guys. It's like the league is completely reset. Everybody has a draft pick. It's like the NFL draft.
Oh, it's like a fantasy draft.
Yeah.
I see.
But we can just
keeper league.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we can go back.
I like that where you have to have the two on the. You can't
can
intermingle.
I change my pick then? Can I change my pick?
Yeah. I mean.
Can I reset the clock because I was thinking in a different way? For the ultimates, take an FK. I'm actually going to take. I think. Oh, but I already have the Falcons. Okay, because I was in my head. I was like, Roas has just missed, so I'm just going to put him with first killer because when they weren't fighting, they were so good together. Right? That was like my main thing. But I'm going to put. I'm still going to pick a Tau. I'm going to put a Tau on Falcons. Right? Still get my offense defense. Roas Tau is basically just Daniel Tau, but we switch regions. Then with first killer, I think I'm going to take. So I take the risk on Monkey Moon maybe being bad because I think him and first killer would actually mesh because they're both psychotic.
I already got it.
You
already picked him? On me. Hands up.
Moon.
With FK. And all of KC's gone, right?
Yep. No.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
You took Fati. I took a Tau already.
We each have one.
And then Vitality. I don't want Vitality. I don't want Furia. I don't want two Falcons. So I can only really take Atomic, I guess. But but Daniel would be kind of good with first killer. I think I'm just gonna. I think I'm sitting. my
Stick
picks.
with
Never
Dan?
mind.
All right.
After all that,
After all that.
Well, because
After all that.
realistically,
Yeah.
a Toe Daniel and first killer Rawas makes more sense than first killer Daniel and a Toe Rawas. I think we can agree with that.
No.
It's just that in my head, I had to reset, and then I came to the same conclusion that those are still probably the two best players available.
This is like when you're sitting there with your partner and you're like, hey, we could just go to that, Mexican place we go to all the time. And you're like, well, we could go get barbecue, or we could go here, we could go here.
Try something
and
new.
Actually, let's just go to that Mexican spot that we go to all the time.
We could try something new. Let's look at the Bib Gourmand. Let's look at Bib Gourmand. Oh, we could go on this one on Bib Gourmand. And then it's like, no.
This episode of the podcast is sponsored by Bib Gourmand, actually. So it's a great
Bib Gourmand
plug.
is actually the best value for taste section of the Michelin Guide, which is what I use because I can't afford to go on the actual Michelin star restaurants. So they have a little guide being like, hey, brokey, you could also get some good food for this price. But no, I always end up just going to the Japanese barbecue. So I know what you mean. Will, sorry.
Is it my turn?
It's you, BA.
And the snake? Okay, so let's just kind of like recalibrate for a second. So we're still within the top 6, but I can't choose my teams.
Correct.
So I'm looking at Yan and Lost. I'm looking at Chronic LJ. Yeah, Exotic. Okay, and let's think, because I have Drali and Beast Mode to build around. And then I have Monkey Moon, who I really could plug into either. You know what? I'm gonna assemble. I didn't have a lot of coffee today. I'm gonna assemble once I have all my players and just kind of freestyle. Let me go ahead and take who I think is the biggest stud at some of these majors. Let me take LJ, please.
I thought it'd been really funny if you were gonna be like, let me just freewheel it. I'll just figure it out later. I'll just take Exotic. And then you're like, you know what? I'm going to throw Trolley with Monkey and Exotic. So you can speak the same language. Just
I was
didn't have a lot of
really surprised by LJ. Like, I very underrated him and what that Ultimates team would look like.
Alpine Esports legend.
Hey,
you guys just
could have gone TRK. Dude,
stud,
that Alpine decal, I think, is like the hardest team decal out of any of them.
I miss it. I should have gotten it.
It's peak.
I have Bacchus mod, so I use it sometimes.
Fair enough. Okay, so
round us out.
Will's got to get us one top 6. Then we're kicking off the.
So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Will, this is your last top 6 pick, and then we go out of that.
I mean, obviously,
so Will, you're back to back.
I'm taking Atomic. Ghost Gaming.
Yeah.
Just a kid from Ghost Gaming. Just a kid from Charlotte, North Carolina, or whatever the fuck they're from. I don't know.
You're okay, undrafted. Come on.
Yeah, it is crazy.
He's a bomb,
crazy.
bro. He's a bomb. That sucks.
So now I go outside of the top 6, which, good lord.
Yes.
There's only one answer. There's literally only one answer.
Is there?
There's literally no.
Major or anywhere outside of top 6?
Anywhere. You can pick. You could pick Snowy if you were in that type of mood.
Give me Bel Air. Number 3 pick. Give me BA.
Incredible.
Give me
BA.
I don't have the meme ready.
Give me 2019 one's musty flick clip. Will Connell, bro. Come on.
Indie Gaming League 1v1 champion, by the way.
Are you dumb?
Reverse sweep in the grand finals.
I want
to win it.
Oh.
Huge. I actually might just go with some next uppers here, just to make it interesting, to make it fun.
Don't take them. I was gonna take them.
You're gonna take them? Which one were you gonna take?
No way.
I
you know who I was gonna take.
Are we going just next up for the final?
Let's do that.
All right.
I'll leave you for, actually. I'll be nice.
No, I wasn't talking about him.
Who the
you know who he's talking about.
You know who I'm talking about. Brother.
Next up?
Mr. Next Up.
Oh my god.
Mr. Next Up.
The man himself.
Me and you specifically, we bonded. We became brothers over this Next Up player.
He's not next up.
Yes,
he was.
He's not. Swear he's not on the list right now.
Oh
he hasn't played 6
Oh, fuck.
Come on, dude. I felt like I didn't even know you there for a second, man.
Sorry, I just had to look at the list real quick. Fuck. My bad.
Don't you dare take him.
I won't take
If
him.
you take him, I'm taking Nupo and Ass, and I'm breaking the next one.
Yeah, don't take Pigeon.
Wow.
You know that Mike really wants him.
Yeah. Don't take Panda. He's Canadian.
He is. We might have to have
I
some
know
talk
every
bus
Canadian player.
conversations too.
Hoops legend Panda.
What do you say? You're gonna have talk bust? You're gonna have
No.
talk bust convos?
Yeah, he's a bust, man.
Crazy.
Pause.
Dude.
Time out.
No. My boy just needs to get on the right team.
No. This is his ticket out of there. He. I can't say it, but I can't say that on the pod. Maybe later.
Okay. Can you big your pick?
That chill. Chill. Oh my god. Shit, man. Should I go mech just for the shits and giggles here?
Mech.
He's not on next up, dude. You
He's
left
not.
him off.
I left him off, and everybody hates me for
You
it.
can't pick him, man. I'm sorry, buddy. You've built your own death machine here.
Look at Ghazi in the top 10.
Yeah, that was a.
Dude, there's one guy in the Shift Discord who honestly, genuinely thinks that that he should be probably number 3.
Ghazi's a hooper. I was watching the Saudi E-League. He's on that team with Abdullah, I think.
Yeah.
Twiz.
Team Rock.
Yeah,
hey, Twiz.
Oh,
Twiz
Team Rock Talk. Team Rock Talk on the cord, man. Oh, you got to be in. It's like 9:30 a.m. and I'm looking at the shift cord, and there's dudes being like just going to war for Team Rock. And the funniest part is my favorite argument that I've seen, besides the currently going on 3-day argument I've been having about the NFL, is the idea that Ghazi can't be on next up because he's too old and he's 19 years old. And people being like, you are who you are by then, buddy. And I'm like, Exotic was literally like nobody knew who he was until he was like 20. And they're like, but that's different. My favorite thing that someone said to me in the shift court, maybe top 5, was when I said that, and then the person who responded to me goes, it's different because Exotic was goated. Like, that's just straight up the reasoning was that Ghazi's actually not goated, but Exotic was, and that's why Exotic could be 20 years old and break.
I also talked about this on my write-up with Next Up, is that Mech is the best player of Power Rangers because you have to be 13 or 14, otherwise you're old and you're never going to make it out.
Yeah,
pretty
true.
much.
It's true.
So, Darklight, sorry buddy, retire. Hexic, you're 19, 1 foot in the grave. Just give it up.
Impossible.
No.
Dude, people don't realize you could go pro at 30 years old. You just have to be committed to having no life and no job.
Yeah. I'm going Fur, by the way. Fur Federation.
I got it written down.
Wait, hold on. Is Hofer still on next up?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because he played with Cam last year. That's why.
This is his sophomore season. But he's only this is his 5th or 6th event, so he's...
for so long, I thought that when I'd see Kofer in lobbies, I thought it was Forky, because they have the same, their names.
They do! Wait a minute!
Their names are palindromes.
Did you just realize something crazy?
I've never thought about that before.
What the fuck?
I literally just thought it was...
Blew my mind. You know Redo's Slater backwards?
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. It was just like, like I'm just gonna put all the letters in my name in a different way so I can like play on my alt. And I was like, that's why people used to be like, Kofer's next up. But I'm like, Kofer's been around for fucking 6 years, man. He's not next up. And then I realized it was a different kid.
Incredible stuff.
Sorry, we're getting so off topic.
I might tweet that tomorrow. I'll credit you.
Is the purpose of this exercise like team building for the future? Are we talking about like for this split that's impending? Like, what's our timeline here?
Martians with their death beam pointed at the Earth.
Like next weekend, kind
of.
Simple
team, or the Martians gonna blow up if they're not like really cool.
All right, so I'm not gonna pick Day Shift, who, if I was drafting for the future, would be high on the draft board. They're here tomorrow. You know what? I feel like I have some really solid pros in my midst. Let's take a poll on somebody who might just be able to like give us a flash. Give me Rusty's.
Okay.
95. 9-5. Mine's pretty easy.
We left him for you.
Listen, Since the day that I saw his tag in a semi-professional lobby, I knew he was going to be special. Listen.
Juke.
Team BDS doesn't come out of the woodwork for just anybody. They were in this esport for 4 years. They were the premier brand. They were the Real Madrid. They were the LA Lakers. They were the NY Yankees of this esport. And they left because they couldn't have a guy that they considered up to Team BDS standard. And then they came back because they realized the next GOAT is here. He's ready. Lisan Al-Gaib, Muad'Dib, et cetera, et cetera. Give me Nico, man. Listen, Frenchmen with their death beams pointed at the earth. I want Nico. You know what I'm saying? I don't need an American. I don't need a Saudi Arabian. Give me that Danish, Norwegian, one of those.
Danish.
Give me one of those guys.
Hey,
and we're going.
Mike, can I tell you? You thought that Kofor and Forky were the same. If you rearrange Nico, you get Icon.
Oh my god.
Holy shit. Wow. Anyway,
what's going on?
My second one, I'm taking for my second pick because I'm on the turn here.
Yeah.
Give me.
I have some sleeper picks, so I'm ready.
I think I'm just gonna take like the obvious one, man.
Will's got some 100x35 in the chamber, so you can go wherever you want.
He's taking Drew to use. No. You know what's crazy is I literally forgot his name. But I know who I'm talking.
I did this the other day with Metzer. I just couldn't remember his name. I knew it.
I'll send the link, or I'll send the picture in the chat, just so you don't have to look it up.
No, I'm gonna look it up. This is embarrassing. I should have looked this up before. The whole time I was like, oh, I know his name.
Hey, speaking of which, there's a player on the next up whose name is Icon.
Hmm?
Listen,
Icon and
Nico.
I'm talking about Nico. Yeah.
Nico is the first. Nico is the first player to have 2 spots on that.
Has anybody seen Icon and Nico in the same room?
Hey, now we're asking the real questions.
It'd be pretty funny if he changed his name and you just put him back on because he's so good. You're like, oh, that's actually my guy. No, the guy I was talking about was Eugen. Sorry, Eugen's.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. He's number 1, I think, right?
He was number 1. It was close. It was him or for. Honestly, I went for.
Yeah,
for GOAT. For GOAT, we know for the GOAT.
We'll see how
we know that he's different level, but Jin is really good as well. I think that after watching a Chronix team in this qualification stage, I'm like, yeah, maybe he was doing a little more heavy lifting than I thought he was, even though Gentlemates didn't do so well. Yeah, I think I'm going to take him. His style matches up with my second team quite well, so we're going to be bringing him on. So yeah, that's for me. He's going to be going to the Falcons. So my 2 teams, I know we'll recap probably at the end. My 2 teams, Ultimates is FK, Nico, and Daniel, and Falcons is Eugen, Roas, and Atal. I'm pretty happy with that.
Solid teams. I'm on the board, aren't I?
Yes.
Well, we're not going to be able to pick everybody. I do want to give a little shout out because I don't think I'm going to pick them. But I got to say, that Devo Jazzy team, I was like, ooh.
That's Will's team. Will loves that team.
Hey, that team was exciting.
They're fun.
Who's the third on that team? That's What's Up, right? Is that Expert?
That's Expert, yeah.
Yeah.
Unk. He's like 23, I think.
Expert is like he's like the atomic. Sorry, he's like the astromic of NA players that make one top 8.
Shepherding in the next same as like rlcs and Sam.
Mm-hmm. He's like the Acronic. He's like the Acronic of Jordans.
I like it. Mm-hmm. Jordan, by the way,
He was
an
a
unbelievable
grinder.
amount of games played.
I saw
Yeah.
that.
Still, did you see that? I was shocked. I didn't know if it was a different Jordan. Okay, let me close out.
Yo, you see this, Mike?
Give them their
Yeah,
flowers,
I saw it.
but
Yeah. We're
I'm
getting
gonna
I'll
asked
take.
shut
back.
up.
Who have I been impressed by when I've been watching? Give me Juke.
What a pick, man. The extra of his era. We got a Monkey Moon, Nico, and we got extra Juke, man. Trust
I
me.
like Juke.
All right.
Beast mode.
You think I'm going 100x35? I'm actually gonna subvert some expectations and go with someone that's very underrated. I'm going Ever. Cloud Esports legend Ever.
Ooh,
Teamed with Rusty's last year. They've had some good series. They've had some quality wins in Swiss. I like that team. I thought Ever was the second best. Maybe even he might be even better than Rusty's in my opinion. He's that good. They got
good
really unlucky this Swiss. He's with Mako and
Mako and
oh, what's his name? He starts with an S. I can't think of it. He's French too. Two French guys. Um, this third guy is not in next up. I don't remember his name. But
it's
yeah,
not like Skyrix.
it might be actually. Yeah, that sounds kind of right. Let's see. Let's see.
Yeah, they just missed out.
Skyrix.
They were a round
Skyrix.
5 team. All
Yeah.
right, what a pull.
Yeah. So I'm going Ever for my. That's gonna go
All right,
Drufinho, Vatira, Ever. What a weird ass roster.
Drew, Bati, Ever, and then who are you left with? Zen, Kofer, Atomic.
Now
Xanatomic first.
that is a roster.
They ain't ready.
William, I am that first one, full disclosure, horrendous stuff. Would get ran over by what I put together. But
Oh, that death beam is
But-
frying them. Oh my god.
but that second one, I wouldn't feel that comfortable with. I wouldn't feel comfortable with either of my teams going up against Zen, Kofi, Atomic. That's like damn near maybe the best team I've ever.
Yeah, it's a roster for sure.
That's really funny.
All right, let's move into our little would you rather.
Wait, finish it off. Finish it off. BA, take us home. All right, did you finish?
That's
No,
it.
I haven't
you
built
are.
my rosters yet.
Oh,
I'm doing it now. I'm gonna go Beast Mode, Monkey Moon. Going Drawly Beast Mode feels like, or Drawly Monkey Moon feels like cheating. Let me go Beast Mode, Monkey Moon, and Rusty's. And then that
So
leaves me
mine-
with, Drawly, LJ, Juke.
That first,
we've
could've
I
assembled.
would
shuffled
say
We've
that
assembled
Could have shuffled
the
it.
most random rosters of all time.
I
Fantastic
like
stuff.
my rosters. I don't know what you guys run. I think that Will has put together the best overall roster, which is Kofor, Zen, Atomic. That, oh my god, I'm getting chills thinking about that team. But I really admire the Salt Mine Atlantic draft aura of both of Belair's teams, where that's what that gives me, especially that second one. Of what was it?
Drawly, LJ, Juke.
Yeah,
Beast
that's like
Mode,
the most
Monkey,
like
Rusty's.
that LJ Drawley Juke is the most like we did a threes tournament and we randomized all the teams like YouTube video, which is like I
Yeah.
backed that hard. I backed that super hard. However, the best pick, let's be honest. What did I put? FK Daniel Nico. Yeah, you guys get put through the washer.
Yeah, it's pretty gross actually.
You get
Good roster.
listen, Xanatomic Colford. I have a large amount of respect for that. Actually, and then I also caught the MENA demographic, the kind of like annoying TikTok Reddit demographic by
No one
putting
picked
Atto and best player in MENA.
It's true.
I got the annoying MENA EU fan demographic with the Atto, Roas, and Eugen. Now,
Oh, yeah.
that team is frying TikTok. That team is frying Reddit. The Johnny Boy YouTube comments absolutely going bananas over that team. Are they that good? They're probably still really good, but like I don't know if they're that good. But people will put that team like third in the world and they won't win a regional for no
We could
reason.
do
Like,
15 minutes on that team easy.
that's like the most fake woke, like, I know ball, but like I don't know ball roster to just be like, yeah, that's the best team actually, low key. You guys just don't realize how good they are at twos. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with my side. That to me makes a lot of sense.
Sorry, I'm getting a little ahead of us. So are we moving to the would you rather's?
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Okay.
I was
What
looking at this.
we're gonna do this.
I was looking at this. Sorry, you can. You go first, and then I'll say my thing.
Yeah, sorry. I just want to explain what we're doing. It's gonna be like we did with the Angel Devil stuff. If you guys remember what you did with Jens, we're like, we'll kind of pass around who's asking the question to someone else. So everyone will ask two questions. Everyone will ask two questions, and then everyone will answer two questions. You know what I mean? So I'll be like BA, and then BA will be like Will, and then Will will be like me, or like whatever order happens.
We're
But
kind
yeah,
of running
so that's how it
long,
works.
so I want to keep my shit short, but I am very excited for this segment.
All right, who wants to start?
I'll start.
Do it.
And I'll ask Will. Will, would you rather fight Oski's brother or Turkish FIFA E player Jazem? Is that where we landed?
I don't know how to
I don't
say
know,
it, but I
but
looked
you
him up.
know what that man looks like.
I looked him up
Dude,
because I
no
was.
social media that I could find, just jacked.
Oh my god!
It's literally he gets up, he goes and he hits arms and he like just biceps. An hour of curls and then maybe some tricep pull downs. And then he comes home and he plays Rocket League for 8 hours, I guess.
Free play at the gym.
What is
Like
Oski's
free play at the
brother?
house.
Genuinely, where do they find him? He just looks like a club bouncer. He's like 6'6" though.
I just have like the Nikola Jokic's brothers in my mind. That's the equivalent
What
I'm
does
thinking. I
Oski's
don't know what
brother
Oski's brother looked like either.
I'll throw one in.
Yeah, maybe this is more of a Michael question.
Trying to find him. I remember because I don't know if you guys remember. Do you remember in London 2, Team Liquid got robbed?
Faco.
Like they got mugged?
Yeah.
No. That's a Tao's brother.
Oh.
But Oski's brother started traveling with them because he was like, I don't want you guys getting robbed again. And he's like a large man for sure. So let me see if I can find a picture of him. I thought this was more common knowledge. Apologies. I didn't realize I was pulling this like crazy pull out of nowhere. But you know what? I think he was like technically their manager at one point. Hold on, let me figure this out.
Sorry for derailing us immediately with giving this one to Will. Dude, Atau has a brother? What is going on?
Yeah, he has a brother who's a pro. He's like a bubble pro.
Faco.
It's like a whole thing.
Or Facao?
Facow Recow?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him.
Incredible stuff. Do you know Matein's brother has been the manager for like a ton of his teams?
No.
That rocks.
Yeah. Familial ties all over the place.
Let me ask BA a question. We can go back to this.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
So, would you rather be an alpha kept chatter or a MENA fanboy, BA? What reputation would you rather withhold?
You know, I gotta tell you, I feel like the kept chatters is a little more widespread than you might think. It's kind of like I can't think of a good equivalent, but I think there's more of them than you would think. But I gotta say, I have some MENA chatters who interact with my content from time to time. They come in hot, for sure, but they're reasonable. You know, if you give them a little and you don't just meet them with a brick wall, they can be pretty kind. So give me MENA fanboy.
Okay.
Let's think. Honestly, I feel like that's probably the right.
Yeah.
That's probably the right answer. Like the kept chatters are like, oh man.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never been in a kept stream before. I heard he does great work, but I'm just not on Twitch that often.
Whoa! Nothing that I have ever learned about Alpha Cap has been like something that I sought out. It's always been against my will. No offense to him. He does a good job with what he does.
Yeah.
But it's just not my tempo. I'm a little
not against our will.
Yes.
In our but, yeah. Okay, so I asked a question, but it was kind of a pump fake.
I would rather fight Oski's brother because we don't know what the hell he looks like, and JZM would put me through hell, and I'm good. I get thrown off of
I gotta go
thrown
back
off
and
the
find this,
Roberto
man.
Clemente wall if he was there, man. Is that in bad taste? Is it too
I
soon?
cannot find this. I cannot find a picture of this guy, but I'm telling you, he is an absolute unit of a man.
Comment below if you've seen Oski's brother.
All right, someone asked
I
me a
don't know.
question, and I'll
Comment below
ask
if you are Oski's brother.
Yeah, where are you?
Yeah,
What do you
can
look like?
can we do that?
Can we fight you?
I'll ask Mike. I'll ask you: would you rather win one LAN, but only be a pro for 2 to 3 years, so burn real bright for a short amount of time, or be a top salaried pro for 6 to 8 years but never win LAN?
I mean, it's a tough question. Do you want to secure the type of money that allows you to put a down payment on a house, pay off student bills, go to college for free, essentially? um, do things that set you up for a lifetime of enjoyment in the second career? Or do you want a bunch of dudes on Reddit to remember that you're really good at video game for like, and then, by the way, not even be that nice about it. Be like, yeah, he was pretty good. Now he sucks. And then you don't make that much money. Like, that's the thing, is like,
I found him.
we don't revere our greats, right? Like, we don't revere, Rocket League fans don't revere greats until they retire.
Yeah.
Like, literally the day before Jane Ass retired, there was probably someone being like, Jane Ass fucking sucks. And then he retired, and we're like, Jane App's the GOAT. Please come back. And the whole split, they're like, Jane App needs to retire. He's so
Dude,
bad.
he's getting carried by Aqua? What's even happening?
So I'm like, listen, all love to the community. They don't treat these people very well. Give me the money. I don't care if you say it. I can wake up every day. That 20K monthly check hits my bank account.
So you'd rather set yourself up for success for the rest of your life over glory in a niche video game?
Listen, I don't want to make light of the work that these guys put in, but I think 99 every pro but Vatira would take the 60.
I think it's the right answer. And just a brief pause. Will, you found the brother? Would you change your answer?
I did, and they'd both kill me, but I think I'd rather fight Oski's brother because he doesn't have the arms that this other Turkish guy has. Because holy shit.
Just go low.
Yeah.
Drop it. Can you drop? Oh, you dropped it in graphics.
Yeah.
Let's see if this is the same picture.
That belongs in graphics. Dude, Jason, oh my goodness, dude.
No, okay, he lost some weight, dude. There's a picture of him I'm thinking of, which is I think it's at the World Championships in Fort Worth, and he is huge. He is a jacked man. It looks like he's leaned out a lot to like maybe he's a runner or something, but he's lost some weight. Either way, big man, big guy. Because remember, Oski's what, 6'3", 6'4"?
Yeah.
He's a big boy too. Yeah, so. All right, I'm gonna ask Will a question. Would you rather have a toxic teammate that makes you dread playing the game, but you win a regional and you make LAN, so you get to go visit somewhere new and get paid more, or teammates you enjoy the teammates you enjoy playing with, but you are hard stuck top 8 in your region?
Wins or vibes?
No, I'm usually more of a vibes guy, but yeah, I guess I'd suck it up with it. How long do I have to play with this teammate? Like, just make
This
one
is just
LAN?
like across like 1 year. Like
Yeah.
1 year.
I could probably suck it up for a year and like make LAN, win some money, travel, and then I'd just be like, okay, you're done. I'm done with you. You suck. Because maybe they're good. Maybe they're a dick, but they're good, and they're a good player, and that's good experience. And also, I'm broke, so I wouldn't mind a little
Points are
extra
being
bag.
made, dude. Points are being made.
The real world finds its way into the exercise.
So, yeah, that's what I got. Do I ask a question now?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather do really well? This could go to either of you, to be honest. In an online split, make the major and qualify for Worlds, and then shit the bed at the major, or would you struggle all split but pull out a big last chance qualifier run and make Worlds?
So would we rather be Gen.G from last season or Semper from the 22-23 World Championships?
Semper got COVID.
Yeah.
I know. What a shame.
Gen.G. Anyways.
If it's my answer, Mike, I don't know if you wanted to take it. If you do,
Yeah, take it.
I would take the LCQ run. Like I want somebody to make a YouTube video about me afterwards that people are like, what a run, you know? That'd be a good feeling, especially to set yourself up for the rest of your career, you know? Then you're like, sky's the limit, as opposed to now you got this big mental cloud hanging over you where you just couldn't put it together when you needed to. Give me the deep run. Everybody loves an underdog. I think I'm asking you, Mike. Would you
This is
rather?
our last question, right?
Okay. Would you rather support an org like SSG who consistently competes at a high level but hasn't won a LAN, or an org like Moist that starts out very well, wins a LAN, but slowly falls into mediocrity and merges with Shopify Rebellion?
Is there a worse fate than supporting Shopify Rebellion? You know,
No.
They've been consumed.
I'll get blocked
Moist.
by more Shopify fans, but no, there's not.
I don't know. I was an SSG, a diehard SSG fan for a while, and then I drifted away when the team kind of felt like they weren't trying that hard to win, from an org standpoint. But I enjoyed it, man. Like, it feels good to climb, you know. Just like for example, like I'm a Man United fan. It's fun because every time someone talks to me, I can be like, "Well, we have 20 top flight titles and like 63 trophies."
That happened today.
Do you? Do you? And then people, they cope and whatever, but I get to just keep saying it. I just keep spamming it until they lose their minds. And it's like a horrible faith argument, but like I can do it. Then it's like also a Sixers fan, like just kind of like a team that loses constantly with a joke of a franchise player who can never make the Eastern Conference Finals. And then people do that to me, you know? And you got my friend, one of my really good friends is a Celtics fan, and all he does every time I try to make fun of the Celtics is be like, "Your team can't make the Eastern Conference Finals. My team's season starts in the Eastern Conference Finals." And I had nothing to say to that, right? But there's something just beautiful about being that team that kind of sucks and is a joke, because you don't you're not cursed with the Sacramento Kingification of just not caring because your team is irrelevant, but you're not buried with the burden of having to carry a legacy of being great. Vitality fans got to wake up every day and think about how they won 2 world championships. The standard is the world championship. Standard for like an SSG team is top 2. Maybe we'll win a regional this time. With Moist, it's like, first of all, you're not even that good. Second of all, the standard is winning LAN. So you're just always mad. You know what I mean? So that's my reasoning behind why I'd rather just be a fan of a team that's like SSG, that just like keeps me engaged, really fun to watch. I keep falling for it, whatever. It's like, that's like a fun existence. I don't know. Well, you're like you're a Bengals fan. Like, it's pretty similar, like with the Burrow era.
Recently,
it's
it's
like,
been fun.
Yeah.
Even though they don't do much.
So yeah,
it's like, wow,
that's my theory.
Lose 1 billion games a year. What a
concept. It's like a good time, man. Yeah. It's just enjoyable. You can enjoy it. You're not worried so much about the finish line.
Will, are you taking a Carmine Core or the field for Open 4?
Nash.
Give me Nash.
Where is it? What? Atto. Saints Row.
You trying to do one of these?
Four Loco.
Nash 5.
Oh man, Wendy's time for NIP. Po. That's all I gotta say. All right, that brings us to the end. We recorded this late. It's getting late anyway. We said we were only gonna go an hour.
Yeah, I'm punch drunk at this point. I'm excited, Will, for your night. Hope
Enjoy
you're going out there.
$2 pitchers.
Enjoy.
Man. Let's go.
Enjoy, team. Will's going to the bar. I'm gonna go and do some work. Actually, I think Belair, is going to, probably fall asleep in the next 45 minutes.
I'm not that old. Hey, that Deuce jersey is gonna do numbers tonight. I'm excited for you. Enjoy that.
Awesome.
Fun as always, fellas.
We'll be back. We're gonna get a consistent schedule. We promise. We've got an editor now. It's Pretty Jokes. Talk soon, team, and enjoy the weekend of Rocket League. All right.
So